Let's talk about all of the comic books I'm looking to pull for the week of March 18th, New Comic Book Day. There's 15 comics on my pull list. It's a great week for comic books, as you see. A lot of stuff from DC. It's finally DC next level as we see some new creative teams coming onto the titles. We got new number ones starting up. And then we have some continuations from some of my favorite indie series. So we'll get into that. What's the pick of the week this week? Pick of the week? Probably got to be Batwoman for me. Greg Rucka coming back to the character. Where's that DC compact? So I read this a couple months ago. Loved it. Just the foundation of Greg Rucka's kind of take on the character. And I thought Kate Kane really climbed the list of my favorite Bat family members. So Kate Kane is awesome. So yeah, really excited for her to get this spotlight in the DC next level. We got artist Denis coming in as well, so that's really exciting stuff. Denis just did a great run of Invisible Man over at Universal Monsters, so Greg Rucka coming back to DC in a big way with this Batwoman series. Denis backing him up on the art. Excellent coloring as well from Matt Hollingsworth and lettering from Hassan Atsmanilehu, probably the best letterer in the game. So that's got to be my pick of the week. But let me know down in the comments, what are you most excited for DC Next Level? Before we talk about the rest of them, I'm just curious what the rest of the comic book community is excited for. So yeah, let's get into the Lobo series then. So Lobo, this is from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. They're taking the main man to the next level. Vroom, the main man's back, baby. So Scotty Young, Jorge Corona, these two have worked together a ton in the past. I love their series, The Me You Love in the Dark. That's some really good horror, sort of psychological thriller type of series, and I thought it was great stuff. So yeah, if Jorge Corona's on it, Scotty Young's on it, could be a series to pull. For me, I'm not the biggest Lobo fan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big fan of the chains, the pouches, you know. It's not a character that I typically kind of, latch onto. But with this creative team behind it, it could be a must-pull series. So I'm picking up the first three. We'll ride it out, see how we feel about it. But Lobo coming out, I know people are excited about it. And then finally, the last DC Next Level title to talk about, at least for today. It's kind of weird that they're all coming out on the same day. There must be some delays or something that, I think at one point they had them like once a week, you know what I mean? So for them all three to be coming out the same week, that's all right though. So Deathstroke The Terminator, we got Tony Fleecs, we got Carmine Di Domenico. I thought Carmine's stuff was really cool, and Absolute Superman, if you guys caught that, it was in the arc of Absolute Superman's like origin, like his year one type of story, and Carmine's stuff was really good there. Also in Batman The Knight from Chip Zdarsky, I thought Carmine's stuff was great there as well. And so Tony Fleecs, he's on hot streak, doing Feral, I believe, doing Stray Dogs, doing Local Man, doing Uncanny Valley as well, a really underrated series at Boom Studios. So yeah, this creative team, hopefully they're bringing it. The Deathstroke The Terminator series, same kind of thing. I'm not a Deathstroke fan necessarily, right? I don't mind him as a character. What's really interesting to me is this creative team, this pairing, and seeing kind of what they do with the Deathstroke character. Same thing here though, I'm only pulling the first three. We'll ride it out and see how we feel about it after that. But those are the first three titles that we're talking about. Again, it's a huge week for me with 15 pulls, and 3 of them are that DC Next Level stuff. So yeah, let me know how you guys are feeling about DC Next Level. If you're excited about it, let's get into it. So Nightwing number 136 is the next thing we're talking about. We still have Dan Watters writing it. I've been loving Dan Watters' take for the Nightwing character. For me, it's got that edge to it that I was looking for in the Tom Taylor, Bruno Dondo stuff. Good stuff, like really fun stuff, but I think Dan Watters bringing that kind of darkness, that edge again. I think that's kind of what I was looking for. And we have a legendary artist, Dennis Cohen. Just read all of Dennis Cohen's, well, not all of it, half of the Question Omnibus from Denny O'Neil and Dennis Cohen on the art. And that was some excellent stuff. So seeing what this legendary classic artist, seeing what he brings to this new Nightwing, this new era for Nightwing. So looking forward to that. This is pretty cool. And we have, who's on the covers? These covers are really cool. Oh yeah, Jorge Fornes on the cover. So yeah, just a great package. In theory, this is a great jumping on point, like we have Borderlands suggesting in the chat. So if you're looking to jump on a Nightwing, number 136 is the issue to do it. Kind of similar to how the New Titans series, this is a new relaunch of the title, because previously it was called Titans, I believe, right? And so they're doing the New Titans. We had new creative team jumping on. We got Tate Bromble, Sammy Basri. Tate Bromble is on a real hot streak lately, doing some Batgirl stuff, doing some Green Lantern Dark, which is a really underappreciated Elseworld story. And then Sammy Basri had really good artwork in the Birds of Prey series with Kelly Thompson writing. Sammy Basri was like a highlight in that series whenever we saw some Sammy Basri art. So this pairing together, I think they're going to be bringing a new fresh take for the Titans. And hopefully this is like a long-running Titans series. I haven't had my own Teen Titans series. Like ever since I've gotten into comic books, single issues, pulling them from DC, there's not, you know, there was the Tom Taylor stuff. It was okay, you know, it was all right. But hopefully this is like a new great starting point for the Teen Titans, because I haven't had, all my time reading comics, I haven't had like a Teen Titans run to point to and be like, that's my series that I started with. So hopefully this can be that. Really excited about that. Looking forward to that. Let's get into the 3 Marvel pickups real quick, because we got Captain America, dude. This has been an excellent series out of Marvel. Chip Zdarsky doing some really cool stuff here, but look at this. Looks like we get title recap. No. That's just for the recap. But then with the actual story, still Chip Zdarsky, of course. And yeah, we find Steve Rogers is over in Latveria. He's trying to pick up the pieces from his first mission that didn't go so well, all the way back when he first came out of the ice. He's picking up the pieces after One World Under Doom and trying to help out Latveria. They're going through it after the absence of Doom. It's kind of created a power vacuum, and who's going to step into it? You know, Steve Rogers trying to help them out. So that's been a really great series over there. Definitely recommend that one. 2 more Marvel series for the day. We got Ultimate Wolverine issue 15. That's been some really fun stuff from Chris Condon. Cappuccio on the art. So that's cool to see Cappuccio. Like hopefully we can ride the rest of the series out with Cappuccio. Looks like that is the case. That's cool stuff there. I think that I was saying though, just in general, I want the Ultimates universe to just kind of end, right? So we have the Ultimates 21. The Ultimates series is like my only like lasting interest in the Ultimate universe. I just want it all to end, but it is cool getting to pull on that shred from that Red Skull kind of versus Captain America stuff that we were seeing. I forgot how many issues ago, but you know, picking up from there would be cool. I thought that was a cool story beat. So Dennis Camp, Juan Jerry, bringing us that excellent story beat there. I'm looking to see that kind of finish out. But just overall, I'm tired of the Ultimate Universe. Just end it, man. Let's see. What else do we got to talk about today? Let's talk about Absolute Flash number 13. Same kind of thing, guys. In along the same lines as DC Next Level, this is a good jumping on point. If you've missed out on the first 12 issues of The Flash, if you were someone who picked up the first volume but you kind of dropped it, maybe jump on with issue 13. I think that Jeff Lemire kind of found his footing in the series, and I thought that his Wally West characterization is really good. And we're still trying to find, Wally West is still on the run. He's still kind of, going through that teen angst. He's separated from Gorilla Grodd right now, right? So Wally West is really going to be going through it, I'm sure, with issue 13. I'm looking forward to it, though. Jeff Lemire. Henning on the art. Has Henning done previous stuff on Absolute Flash? Looks like it. So, yeah. Looks like we do not have the main series artist, but we got a guest artist. That's fine with me. Let's talk about Wonder Woman real quick, right? So this is the Wonder War beginning. So again, in theory, a new great jumping on point for the Wonder Woman title. If you wanted to get into, you want to see what Trinity's all about as a character, now might be a good point. We have Tom King and Daniel St. Pierre coming back in. Hopefully the Wonder War is their last arc, but I thought that the Mouse War, the Mouse Man arc was good, the Mouse Island arc, that was probably the highlight of the series for me. So hopefully they can keep the positive momentum going with this Wonder Woman title. Got some great indie series to talk about, like Exquisite Corpses number 11. We have 11, 12, and 13 before this series finishes, and James Tynion IV is doing some incredible stuff with the rest of the Corpse crew on this one. The last surviving killers have arrived in the town square, ready to finish their blood-soaked game. So it looks like we're potentially coming to the end of this Exquisite Corpses series. We know that they're continuing with season 2. They're continuing with a game. I think they're doing like a movie or a show. This is going to be a real big thing, like beyond just the comic book. So if you guys have been enjoying Exquisite Corpses, we have a lot more of it coming. That should be pretty fun as that series closes out. G.I. Joe real quick. G.I. Joe number 20. Optimus Prime and Duke meet for the first time. What does this mean for the future of the Energon universe? So we know that in the last issue of Transformers, we'll get into it when I do the comic book reviews, but there's been a change up in the Autobots, this kind of group, the Autobot group, right? There's been a change, and I wonder if this will kind of follow that, or maybe this issue takes place before. I'm not sure, but the confrontation of Duke and Optimus Prime, that should make for some pretty good comic book fun. Great stuff from Josh Williamson and the team over there. Geiger number 22. I've been loving Geiger, but this arc has not been doing it for me. I feel like a hater. I just don't know about this Northerner guy. I just don't know too much about him. I got to catch him up on Redcoat. But just even the fact that, like, we're split up from the main, Barney, we're split up from Nate the Nuclear Knight. We're split up from Zigzag and the rest of the team over there. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish that Geiger could regroup with his original homies that we've been getting to know for so long. Hopefully we get like a check-in on them in this issue. But we know that Geiger's going on this sort of solo mission with the Northerner, this time traveler. That's an interesting piece, like the time travel bit. I just don't know too much about him as a character. End of Life number 2. Alright, so I wasn't the biggest fan of issue 1. I thought it was the weakest out of the DC Vertigo line so far. Just like not a big fan of the character of Eddie Stallion. I thought he was an asshole. Where's his redeeming qualities, right? Like, he's not a lovable asshole, at least right off the start. So I need to see some character growth, and I need to see it fast, or else this series might get the drop. Might continue it just because I'm keeping track of all the DC Vertigo stuff for the channel, but yeah. Not going to be a big fan of the series. I won't be recommending it as much as the other ones for sure. But yeah, Kyle Stark, Steve Pugh, End of Life issue 2. And then in theory, alright, as I'm going through, I think I've talked about everything here. In theory, I'm picking up Lucky Devils number 7. This series has been so for me. There's been a lot of delays in the series as well, so I think I didn't even read. Yeah, I'm on issue 4 or whatever. I'm a fan of 8 Billion Genies, this team's previous work, but this Lucky Devil series is not hitting for me, so I think I told my shop to drop it, but if they have this one in my pull box, it'll be the last one, I think. So yeah, that's the comic book pull list for the week of March 18th. Let me know what you guys are excited to be picking up down in the comments. While you're down there, like if you like, sub if you love, and if you really like it, you can hype it. Always appreciated hyping, alright? So let's check in on the poll before we leave you here. We got 43% for Deathstroke, just 5% for Lobo, so that's kind of surprising to me, not as much excitement for Lobo, and then 52% for Batwoman. That's how we're ending the poll. My community more excited about Batwoman. Next up, Deathstroke, then Lobo. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff there. Let me know what you guys are picking up, like I said, and read more comics. For those that don't know, New Comic Book Weekly is a live show that I do every single Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We go over the week's pull list, we go over the previous week's comic book reviews, and we do a big topic. I don't even know what the big topic is before I start recording sometimes. I decide like an hour prior to. But yeah, that's New Comic Book Weekly. Again, that's 4 p.m. Eastern every single Monday. Hope to see you guys live.